Ho, 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 and a very Merry Christmas to you. And Tom, it's time to sing it.
What are we singing?
Hold fire, to sing, Bournemouth win away. Beautiful scenes.
I don't know if that was this year or last year or
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Which one was it? Welcome to this festive feast on your favourite AFC Bournemouth YouTube channel and podcast. You might be viewing this on Christmas Eve, so if that's the case, kids, I hope Father Christmas is going to get you everything you want. I mean, he's delivered already, right? Or if you're watching on Christmas Day, a very happy Christmas to you. Hope all the presents that you're opening are fantastic. Who's got some ball slippers? Has anyone got the throw? Bournemouth Gym Jams, anyone? Yeah. Send us your pictures on social media. But I hope you've had a nice Christmas dinner as well. It's going to be time on the show to gorge, to gobble, to stuff, to cram, to overeat, to overindulge on all things AFC Bournemouth. And another 3 points. And Tom?
Yeah.
Cherries are fifth in the table. What's going on?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's
Time to be a Bournemouth fan. It is crazy. It is crazy. I mean, some of the teams were above. Aston Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United, Man City, for example. It's weird, isn't it? Because no disrespect, but if you'd said to me at Christmas, you're going to be below Forest, I'd go, no. We're in trouble. But us two are absolutely flying at the moment. Absolutely flying. So we're kind of mates now, aren't we?
We are. And look, you said that if you could have any Christmas present in the world, it would be, what was it?
3 points.
Yeah. So here you go, mate.
Oh, what have we got?
Here's my present to you. 3 points. Don't open it. It's just a box wrapped in white paper. I couldn't use Christmas paper because you wouldn't see the writing. It's literally for the joke of seeing 3 points. So just I think it's a rabbit box chew toy.
Oh, well,
however,
Merry Christmas to me.
There are some proper presents for you, Tom.
What?
This one's for Tiggs, so that's not for you.
And you can't.
What we got there? Tom, happy Christmas from everyone back in the... Steve Hansman bought this for you. You don't have to open it now.
All right.
But,
cheers, Steve.
Yeah, that's from Steve.
Who's that from?
Oh, Tom, this is from me and Lucy.
You don't even know that's from you, do you?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I'm opening it. It's not Christmas. Am I waiting?
Yeah, you can wait.
No. Just hand it out.
Bloody hell, this is heavy. Tom.
Was that mine as well? What's going on there?
To Tom from the 38th minute Elf. I don't know. I genuinely don't know who that's from, Steve. Thanks.
I don't know, but it's got to be an Amstel or something in there, I'll tell you.
And finally...
God, what's going on there?
Oh, it's Tiggs. Sorry. So, yeah, happy Christmas.
Cheers,
and happy Christmas to you as well. If you're listening on the pod, what we were doing is handing presents to Tom. Because, look, you made the trip. I didn't. It was worth it. We are the first team to beat United at Old Trafford by 3 goals in consecutive games. For the last 2 seasons we've played there, Man United's XG has been 4.07 versus Bournemouth's 3.02. That doesn't matter though. Scoreline, 6-0.
6-0. And he was all right, wasn't he? That's why I'm wearing this. What a game from Kepa.
He's wearing the Kepa Arrizabalaga
100%.
jersey, and my God, there are so many players that we can go on about in this. And what is mad, right? And I thought this after the game, like we're obviously ecstatic about beating a huge football team with a rich footballing history, but in the current times, if you actually drill down, if you look back in hindsight and look at that result, Bournemouth fans, it's not a shock. It's kind of, you know what? Yeah, fair play. The only people that are shocked, not even the neutral football world is overly shocked.
Not really.
It's just people inside of Manchester, which is maybe underlining my point that I said on the sort of post-match thing about the whole parochial nature of that football club that is kind of reverberated to the fan base from the very top of the club. The players on the pitch almost look like, they can just rock up and get 3 points. But sometimes hard work, some really good footballing play, diligence, and amazing tactics, as we saw on Match of the Day, by the way.
I mean,
show how we can get a result there.
Yeah, and honestly, if you look at the two teams, we've got a better team. We've got better players. We have. It's been evident for too long now. I mean, this isn't just, Fergie's just gone. It's been a decade.
The drive to improve has disappeared since Fergie went.
Yeah.
And they
need a massive gut out and reset the squad. How many times have we said that?
Yeah.
How many times we said that? They spent billions. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, there's a few in there that they'll probably work with. But I did think it was good to get them before they kind of maybe got into a setup of Amorim and the way he wants to play. But I'm quite smug because I did say before that I had no doubt that we'd win this game.
Yeah, you did.
At all. I thought they might finish. I mean, I went 3-2, didn't I? And obviously it could have been that if it weren't for Kepa. But
Even this guy said 3-1.
yeah, it was poor from Salah actually. Thinking that Kepa would concede, that is poor. Hope he had his El Marino. But yeah, I don't know. Last year I was confident because of the way we were playing, but this year I kind of was the first time I went up there and go, if anyone offered me a point, no chance. The way we play, I think will hurt them too much. And as long as we always say, as long as we actually finish them chances, finish enough of them and keep the door locked the other end, I think we'll have no problems. That's exactly how it transpired, mate. There was as soon as that the game kicked off to the end, there was no part where I didn't think we were going to win.
There were so many similarities with the two matches because one, it was played in December. Two, it was pissing wet and windy and cold, and it looked like that. We've got some vlog footage intermingled on this second look that we'll be taking a look at some of the key points of the game, i.e. the goals. But United fans were getting soaked, not through excitement as well. Old Trafford is infested with mice. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's just classic.
And even where they do the presser, it had a leak. And on the pitch, second best, second rate. Yeah. Iraola's dynamic and fluid football causing them issues throughout. And one thing I didn't realise, Richard Jackson made an excellent point on Twitter, that was our first victory this season in anything other than wearing red and black.
Well, when I said that I was confident we were going to win the game all from start to finish, not before the game when I'm having a pint and Rich tells me that, and I see we're not in red and black. So yeah, cheers for that, Rich. But yeah, I'm glad we've got that one out of the way. I didn't realise that because obviously the other away games was at Ipswich, Everton.
We'd have worn our home.
Yeah, we still wore red and black. But yeah, Manchester United, the gift that keeps on giving. I did like that they tweeted before the game saying, let's gift 3 points, and Bournemouth retweeted it and said, cheers for the gift.
Is that what they said?
Which was nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was just perfect again, mate. Like last year, like I say, and as you said, how reminiscent it was. We were 1-0 up at half time. Then when they're having a few chances, then we get the goal, and then we get the next one really quickly. It was all quite similar, really. Apart from this time, a ball hitting near your arm didn't matter, which was nice. Yeah, everything about it was beautiful. We were singing Down with the Scummers, then Down with the City. It was just all good fun, mate. It was just all a laugh, and loads of half and half scarves that were purchased before the game. I saw from plenty of them. Loads of little Man U fans scattered in the away end that we had a little bit of a laugh at. So everything about it was perfect, mate. Absolutely perfect. Even got nice little Mackies on the way home.
And the league table is looking not so bad. Cherries, as we say, in fifth. And our form in the last 5 has been exceptional, just like it was last December, by the way. So just some of the names that are below us: Villa, Man City, Newcastle, Spurs, Man United, West Ham. Big clubs.
Yeah, right.
But look, little old Bournemouth are doing well. But Iraola said it in his presser beforehand. He said it afterwards. He knows how compact, and that's the word he used, compact the table is. So,
of course, yeah.
I think we worked out that we could have been as high as 5th and as low as 13th.
Yeah,
based
over
on
the
what happened
weekend.
at Old Trafford, right?
Yeah, of course. So it is. Yeah, it is all really tight, of course. And it's a weird position to be in that our goal difference isn't too bad as well, because we always seem to, over previous Premier League seasons,
that's true.
whenever we're joint with anyone, we're below them normally, aren't we? So that's nice to be in a decent positive goal difference as well.
But Man United's first Christmas in the lower half of the table, and wow, where they are now is not particularly pretty. There's a table that sometimes we bring up on the show. Do you want to see it?
Feed me the base.
The baseline tracker sees that Bournemouth are another 3 points on the baseline tracker. Plus 16, mate.
I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? I mean, we're just
so look, do we flirt with these conversations now?
What conversation?
You know, the E word. Do we?
What's I don't know what you're talking about.
Extraordinary. Not that, but do we flirt with that, or maybe touch on it at the end of the show?
Show me the way to Lithuania, Belarus and Romania. We'll watch the boys in Transylvania. A Euro tour awaits for me.
That is a beautiful song. And you know where I saw that first, Tom?
Yes, I do.
I saw it on the Ko-fi, which you uploaded yesterday. Now, look, we're going to take this opportunity just to thank each and every one of you who has supported us throughout the year, because every single little penny that we get through that goes back into funding everything we do. It helps to buy our equipment. It pays for our software subscriptions. It pays for our hardware, our microphones, a load of things that we need in order to cover back of the net as well as we can.
Jeff's wages.
Jeff's wages. It's not just this. It's the audio podcast, of course. It's the website hosting, and of course, you know, when Jeff Hayward is taking down Chris Sutton on 5 Live, by the way,
Lovely.
That comes at a price. But look, thank you so much. And as a payback, we send sort of first looks of some videos, Tom's player ratings, which included that song, by the way, and a load of other content as well. And we put you onto a Telegram group, which is similar as WhatsApp. And the community there is really, really nice. We've got about 160 odd people on it at the moment, which is really great. Yeah. If you want to help support us, we do it to all the monthlies. You can donate one-off if you want. And if you do donate and support us monthly, you don't have to be part of the Telegram group. You can put it, or you can go in or just put it on mute if you want. But really good conversations in there. AFCBpodcast.com/coffee. From £3 a month. You can donate whatever you want a month, but every single penny goes back into the channel. And look, we might be needing to dip into that if we go to Europe. We don't know.
Oh, it's mad that we're talking about it. Like,
we pay for our own stuff here, don't we?
We've joked about Europe a few times over a few years, but it feels a little bit more realistic now.
I tell you
it's still going to be very, very difficult. There's a lot of teams below us that I think will get stronger, of course. It is going to be tough. Coefficient's looking nice, though, I must say.
The coefficient's looking nice. And look, there are various different algorithmic tables that are generated that look at how it could look at the end of May. And there's the Opta one that takes into account certain stats. But I just thought, so someone posted this one somewhere on Twitter and add Bournemouth in the champions. Fourth. That was the predicted league table on 68 points.
Someone thinks we're getting Dan Jefferson back, don't they?
I don't know what details this. I don't know how it works out.
Fourth.
But Forest in 6th, doing all right.
Actually, we've got quite a lot of Villa fans watch this. They're 10th. What's going on there?
Is this based on like who we've played already and getting this? I don't know how it, but look, I really appreciate that.
I wanted to make sure. I wanted to see the bottom of the table. I know we're not involved.
What? Okay, to see. Exactly.
I just was interested to see who was bottom. Oh, that's interesting. How many points do they get? 12. Listen, it is. That's weirdly feels a little bit realistic. I don't know. There's a lot of good teams in there, and Forest keep surprising me. For example, I keep thinking they're going to fall, and they probably feel the same with us, to be fair. And they don't. They're. You said it the other day in our chat. They do feel a bit relentless, like they just get the job done. Yeah. And then Fulham have got some injuries at the moment. Obviously, we've got them coming up, but I think they look like a really good side, Fulham. I think they're going a little bit under the radar like ourselves. So be a bit of a scrap out for them, and then I'm sure some of the big teams will improve as well. But I
think at the end of the year we need a pod with like maybe Sammy from Fulhamish, and probably Dave Asprey, and just give some V's up to all the others that want to put us down. The patch. Look, some Forest fans are patronising. Not Dave, he's a good guy, but most of the other there's this horrible like patronisation. Is that a word? I don't know. And talking down to Jeff said that on his show, Richard Jackson on Radio Solent on Monday night. Check our socials because there's a link to that. And a lot of Premier League fans say, Premier League's crap with Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford. We'd rather have Leeds and Sunderland or whatever. And it's a big sort of FU to them, isn't it? Us being
I bet you'd rather them because you beat them because they're not as good as us. But it is what it is. You've got to get there at some point. I'm more than happy to be the little club beating the big clubs. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. What's interesting, what you said about Jeff being on 5 Live, we nearly went on in the morning after the game, but the reason we couldn't was because they couldn't find a Man U fan to come on to have a little chat. So
Richard was available, by the way, so I wasn't waking up early for that. I'm such a diva. You weren't.
You didn't even ask me because you went, he ain't waking up. But Rich was going to go on, but they couldn't get a Man U fan, which for a massive club was surprising. I'd much rather have a small knit club that I know most of the faces when we go, rather than tourists walking around with half and half scarves personally. So I'm more than happy with how it is, mate. And you never know. I mean, like I say, we went to America, if we didn't say. So my passport is renewed, and that's all it has.
And look, I mean, I think I'm straight, but I don't know because Andoni Iraola, man, that guy
Yeah.
I absolutely love him with every thread of my being. Like, and look at these, mate. 4 big results. Look, we didn't get the result at Liverpool. We should have got the result against Chelsea. 4 of the big 6. I mean, that is impressive to have got 12 points from these teams, isn't it? And that just shows that maybe we're starting to get to that little level above that we didn't know we were at.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it was always like, we'd get to a certain point and you think, there's just not quite we just can't quite get there. And maybe there was a little bit of fear in the player's mind subconsciously when you're playing against these bigger clubs. But once you get a few results, it's a bit like the comebacks, isn't it? Once you do a few of them, you've then it's easy for the coaches to go, look, there's evidence here. You can do it. So you've got nothing to fear.
It's the organisation of what happens on the pitch.
Chaos. Which is the problem. And you mentioned, sorry, I was about to say that. I can't remember her surname, forgive me. Sue, she does it with Stephen Warnock on Sky Sports. She was an ex-women's player.
Yeah, Sue Smith.
That's it, Sue Smith. And they
the most common surname in the world. You couldn't remember it.
If I just guess one. But yeah, she was talking about, but they were talking about Bournemouth's obviously star. And she mentioned the Liverpool. She said, they've got all these big results, but even when they went to Anfield, when they got beat, they had more shots than anyone has at Anfield. It was good that, because people just look, Bournemouth got smashed to Liverpool.
Right.
We actually had loads of chances in that game. So yeah, there was, even in a 3-0 defeat, there were signs, weren't there? Yeah. But yeah, and even now, we're going to go into like how we lined up and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really bothered how we line up.
It don't matter.
It's like with anyone, I just go, we'll just put anyone in. At the end of the game, you just go, let's put James Owen centre midfield, he'll be fine. It doesn't matter, because as long as they know the role that they're asked to do with Andoni, everyone just seems to deliver.
So look, what pub did you go to? Because it was usually Lime Bar that we went to last season, but that changed into some like Japanese eatery, didn't it? But it's not on it. Salford Quays.
Yeah, it was virtually next door. Craft Brew, it was called.
Is it all right?
It was all right. It was quite small. So we managed to nick a little table. Rich was there, wasn't he?
So what time did you get there?
God, what time did we get there? About 11.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Again, Steve Hensman with the driving there.
Yeah, he was on fire. And then, then a few more Bournemouth fans come over and met us and stuff. And yeah, it was fine. Like I said, there's no...
Did you have any selfies?
Did I? I might have had a few. I probably asked them, I think. Yeah. Just to make me look good. But no, it was nice in there. There was plenty of Bournemouth in there. It was Man U in there as well. I said to you off camera, we were kind of talking about it, and they were a little bit like, after last year. But a lot of them were going, but I think that was Solanke, because Solanke's got an amazing record against United. He scored a brace in the week for Tottenham, and I think they were more like, but this is a Bournemouth without Solanke, and didn't really realise how good we still are. One
of the things that I sort of noticed through previous exchanges with Man United fans in the flesh is that on the large part, I think most of them are fairly humble with the situation they're in, and they can understand where they're at. Whereas online, Man United fans are unbearable.
Yeah, it's
they're absolutely unbearable. But in the flesh, and there is a distinct split when it comes to Man United fans. You've got those that go every week.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed last time round by the fans. It was so stoic. They stayed until the end, 3-0 down. 85 minutes, they were chanting their team's name. Before the game, they were like, bring on United, bring on United. They were there throughout, singing away, trying to back their team. But then you've got another part, which is the kind of, I've spoken about this before, fair weather fans, tourist fans that turn up, you take their pictures, take their selfies, vlog the game, just like Ollie. We'll talk about that later. And
who vlogs a game?
What?
Who vlogs at the football?
Who does vlog a game?
Lovely to just go there and experience it. It was for me.
Put your cameras away. But they've got another part that just expect their team to be smashing teams like Bournemouth, and they've got no idea.
No.
Like I said at the start, I think Bournemouth fans weren't overly surprised. Some United fans were, but in the flesh, I find most of them are actually all right.
Yeah, and you're getting to a stage where there's going to be teenagers soon that have never seen Man U be successful, really.
Yeah.
Which is mad. But yeah, I'll give it to. I remember, you think Ten Hag was there a long time, and he obviously won a few trophies, but it was always disappointing on the whole. And I never once saw any kind of clips of in the stadium of them chanting Ten Hag out.
No.
Because I think the proper fans appreciate the wider thing of what's going on at the club and the damages that are being caused. It's not just all on one head coach. And they were, to be fair, they're going to get right behind Amorim for a long time, I'm sure. But what was disappointing is them stoic fans, as you were saying, that are normally next to us. They'd been moved, apparently.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, they'd been moved. So a Man U fan told us, because we, after the game, we said, well, last year we won 3-0 and they were still sitting here. They've been told that, because they're the singers, to be moved to the Stretford end to try and get that going.
Interesting.
And I think it was something to do with, because it's normally just turned into a bit of thing with the away fans, which I can imagine in kind of higher intensity games maybe, where they were maybe in the game. I'm not sure what that's like. But yeah, they got moved and then so you couldn't really hear them, which was a shame because I quite like the little banter, especially when you're slapping them up.
Did you watch the any of the fan reactions on YouTube?
Of course.
I've never understood this, and this is something that I will, you touch wood, never do, is do watch-alongs for home games.
Yeah, it's weird. But they're a massive club, aren't they? So they've got fans all over the world, there are some fans that can't go.
Yeah, I know. But
if they've got a little bit of a
but
following.
like there's a, I don't want to no, I'm not going to call them out, but there are smaller clubs that are doing watch-alongs.
Right, yeah.
Where, like for home games, where it's like,
strange.
there's no chance you can't get a ticket like that.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
But anyway, I did enjoy watching the likes of United Stand, Stretford Paddock.
Lovely.
All of the United channels going mad.
Beautiful.
I think there's even a YouTube channel, Fan Reaction FC or something, that is actually dedicated to collating.
Love that.
All of the reactions, and it's great to see
fun.
him. But every time, Bournemouth,
it is. It is strange. Everyone's kind of.
When's that going to change? How do we like elevate ourselves? Is it just doing this regularly?
I reckon when we win 3-0 at the Bernabeu, people might go, actually, Bournemouth quite good. I can't remember who it was, forgive me, but there was a Bournemouth fan on X that put the picture up of when we played them in a friendly.
Yeah.
Real Madrid. Said, looking forward to welcoming them back.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, which is nice. But yeah, I think we're always going to get that a little bit because of the size of the stadium, the history and lack of for the football club with the elite.
However, though, have you seen the latest footage of the training ground?
It looks right, doesn't it? It looks very nice. Yeah.
So that's going to pave the way, right? Oh my God.
We're getting there, mate. We're getting there.
Look, and let's go to the team lineups then on the day.
Yeah.
You were close.
I was close. Cookie was out, wasn't he? He put in Tyler Adams, and obviously Dango played. I was toying with the idea of Philip Bilham potentially playing. But yeah, he still left Cookie out. I think you've got that option to rotate a little bit now with Tyler Adams back, and obviously Christie. I think there's probably half of it of he is on the tightrope of yellow cards, but also I think people forget that it wasn't long ago, it was only a few weeks ago that Cookie was injured. Had a slight knock, then he had slight muscle problems, so they're probably just looking at it a little bit and bad option to have on the bench. Apart from that, we were pretty much as you'd expect, I guess. Still, I know every club's got injuries, but that's what's weird because Bournemouth doing so well. They don't realise how thin we are. We've got 2 youth players that I don't believe have ever kicked the ball in the Premier League. I don't even think they've kicked the ball in the Championship. No. Then obviously we've got a goalkeeper, which excludes one place. Then we've got Max Aarons, who really is not, doesn't seem surplus to requirements. Then we've got Philip Billen, who's kind of only recently been coming on the pitch, the same as David Brooks. Anu now, who's a real backup player. And then James Hill, who is normally out on loan. So we're very thin. So to have someone like a Cookie on the bench is always, you think, there's another option. For them, I think they were kind of as I expected. I was surprised they went Xerxes over Hoyland, but I think Gary Neville said it, that he's clearly rotating bits and bobs because he's trying to work stuff out at the moment, which makes sense. So you've got 2 decent strikers, you play one, play the other. I thought, and I could not believe, by the way, obviously skipping forward a little bit, but they made loads of subs in the game, obviously. They never bought on Ericsson. And I just thought, he's the type of player that kind of looks after the ball a bit.
Yeah, he does.
I was surprised they didn't bring him on. But anyway, apart from that, the surprise was Manasseh really coming in and Mazraoui went into a centre-half position. But they went with that 3 as we expected. And yeah, they went as I expected them to go system-wise. And as I expected as well, we'd have too much for them.
If you are a subscriber on YouTube and you're watching there, you'll have seen that I've sort of dissected the game almost minute by minute in the post-match reaction video. But so check that out. If you're listening on the pod, it's youtube.com/AFCB podcast. So I suppose it's not a case of going through it minute by minute, but we'll pick out some of the key moments. And the first half, I mean, from the off, I thought we dominated. They had that Ahmad shot from Smith, maybe intercepting / overrunning it where he got the shot away. But other than that, for the first 20-25 minutes, I thought we controlled the game like really, really well. And I think Glenn Murray it was on Match of the Day. He really successfully demonstrated our domination in the press that we managed to deploy with. If Christie goes, then like Howson goes. And the fact that Onana didn't have many options at all, had to go long ball. Zabani was mopping up and Iraola was applauding it on the touchline. I thought that was a really astute bit of analysis. But it was all over the pitch. We were hassling, we were harrying, we were giving them no time on the ball. We were controlling it. We were controlling it at Old Trafford. We were making it look easy.
Who was it that was clapping on the sideline?
Andoni Iraola.
It was Andoni Iraola. Oh, I thought it was Andre Iraola. They tried, match of the day, bless them. But yeah, no, you're right. It was, and what
Jason
was
Mohammed, that was.
what was so yeah, it was. What was so evident was that, as you say, that press, and then Onana's forced to go long, and Zabs or Howson beat Xerxes every single time, and then, funnily enough, Howson's goal, he's being marked by Xerxes, and he had in the air. Howson had him all game, so it was quite fitting that he was the one that put us ahead. And I said to you, looking at it, I thought he's just kind of flicked it into an area and it's happened to go in. But you look at it and the neck muscles on him, he's aimed that. And we were limbs, but he was just a chill guy.
So I wasn't there. What was the what were the limbs like?
Yeah, they were good, mate. Yeah, I mean, they're good to a degree, and then you go, it's expecting that. I know. They were good for that first one, of course. We were all buzzing, but they were fine. They were absolutely fine. But I didn't want to go too mad because you know what Old Trafford's like. You could break anything if you just touch it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all falling apart anyway, so you've got to be careful there.
So, shall we have a look at the vlog footage of the goal? Let's see it. Lovely stuff. And look though, mate, we had a chance actually soon after that with Evan Nilsson.
Done really well to get that volley in, I thought.
Really well. If only someone was following that up, perhaps. But look, he did so well to manufacture that chance. But from that moment though, it seemed to be almost all United. And there were a few moments that felt a bit squeaky bum for me. And you know when you sometimes watch a match on the TV like I was doing, sometimes you think the ball's gone in and it sort of bounces up and you're like, oh, that's in the back of the net, and it's actually ends up just like optical illusion or whatever. There are a few times they fired it into the box. I was like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah.
But we were defensively really, really resilient, and that man whose jersey you're wearing was in really good form. I thought he was absolutely excellent, and it sort of showed you. I mean, I know Chelsea fans have poo-pooed the huge fee that he's worth and they paid, etc. But you could see that a little bit.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was, and it wasn't just this. Obviously, we'll go on to some of the saves he made, some really, really big saves. But it was the way he allows us to do what we're doing. So we push so high. We know we take so many risks. And a key to that is your goalkeeper being good at sweeping up. And I still think that's the main reason why he plays over Travers, because Travers is an amazing shot stopper. Neto was a good shot stopper, but neither of them are off. So they would just play a ball over the top, normally looking for like a Diallo with his pace, where he's caused so many teams problems since Amarin's come in. He's been really good, Diallo. And every time he's making that right run, the ball's coming over the top. It's beat our defence, Kepa's there. And you just kind of clap it and you think, oh, it's just normal goalkeeping. But if you actually think about it, and there's no disrespect on the goalkeepers, by the way, but Travers and Neto have been our previous two. Do they come off the line like that? They're not that type of keeper. They're really good shot stoppers, but they're not them type of goalkeeper. So he's just coming off the line, sweeping up really easy. Just looks like he's really comfortable with doing that. And I said to you off camera that Tottenham, for example, are really struggling at the moment. And they're similar in the sense that's why they got Solanke, by the way, with their press. Yeah. And they're struggling because their goalkeeper's out. And Vicario, whether you think he's a good goalkeeper or not, he knows that I've got to sweep up. Fraser Forster is like 37. He's never been asked to do that before.
Yeah, he's bad.
And obviously both their centre-halves are out as well. So it means that trying to get up the pitch and leaving a massive gap is hard to do when you've got a 37-year-old goalkeeper who's not used to it. So that really helped us, and I thought that early on. And then when he does that a few times, it probably gives confidence. Then he makes a really good save just before half-time. I think it was Bruno. Really strong arm, and you just thought he's having one of them days today. And I think it was the last kick of the game where he just caught the ball, and you saw the reaction of like, yes, because that's a big clean sheet for him. And he got a clean sheet against Tottenham as well. He got a clean sheet against Arsenal. So he's got some big clean sheets this season, and everyone's enjoying their El Marinos.
Well, look, I sort of wonder, because there was, I don't know, because you never know what to believe on social media, but there was a link to something. I didn't actually click through and listen to it or read it or whatever, but it looked like he was keen to sort of prove himself at Bournemouth in order to go back to Chelsea and do what he does best there. However, I just wonder whether the league position that we're in at the moment is making him think, you know what, I'm playing every week here. Yeah. I'm enjoying myself. Yeah. Our team are smashing teams like Man United 3-0 in their own backyard. Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah,
you got to be careful when you're on loan and you're in a decent contract with your parent club, because if for example an option come for another goalkeeper and we'd say we didn't want Kepa, or we couldn't afford Kepa, and he's already burnt bridges at his parent club. He's in trouble. So I think, he's always just that. We've had that loads of times, haven't we? I remember when Ake was there on loan, he'd go, I'm trying to get back in the Chelsea team. And then as soon as he went back, we signed him. But I know what you mean. I think a lot of these players, and someone like Kepa, if you can get in there and you show that progression of that project, you want to be part of it. And he's still at a decent age.
But is there a world that we can sign him or not? I don't know.
For the sort of money that obviously they did.
It was 73 million.
Yeah, it would depend on the situation, and if there's a part of Chelsea that go, look, we want to kind of get rid of these wages and you can have him. I'd be surprised they'd want some sort of fee, or if you get him on loan for another season, I'm not sure. But it will certainly be one that we'll think about. I don't know the murmurings of the kind of money he's on. I'd be surprised, but Neto's on big money as well, so it probably depends on that situation. I think Neto's got another year, hasn't he? That'll come out and wash it in the season, I guess. But if we finish how we've started, then it's only going to help that, isn't it?
Weaknesses then, because Man United were just creating a few chances towards the end of the first half. Was there a kind of I was watching on TV, so there was I was biting my nails. Were you?
No, not really.
What, really?
I wasn't really biting my nails.
Is that because you were down in the
yes, I missed the big chance because I was having a pint. By the way, give Man U shit, £3.80 for a pint of Madry.
Really?
In a football stadium, I'll tell you what.
That's good.
That's brilliant, yeah. I didn't. So everyone told me about that chance. Obviously, I've seen it back, the Bruno one. And they were creating bits. I think what it is now is, they were creating stuff and you go, okay, they might score. But I know that we're going to have chances because we're Andoni. So, I wasn't biting my nails, but I did think, let's get to half time and we'll dig in there and just get it through. And because you don't want to give them that lift. But I even though they had some chances, I felt like we were dealing with stuff pretty well. I think Bruno flashed one wide. Yeah. And things like that. But but we were still causing problems in the transitions.
There was a heat map that I showed at half time, which I'll just show now again for those watching on YouTube, where it seemed to suggest that they had a little bit of joy down on the left side with Malacia, who was giving Adam Smith, I wouldn't say a tough time, but he was making him earn his money, earn his corn. And Adam Smith did pick up a booking.
Yeah, I think on 4 now.
On 35, which made it 4. And I was sort of wondering, what would happen at half time. I was wondering whether any subs would be made. They made one, and that was taking Malacia off. Yeah,
it was. I mean, he's been out, on and off since he's been joining the club. So I guess it was more of a fitness thing.
But then we took Smith off.
We did indeed. We took Smudger off. Obviously that yellow, and he has been carrying bits. I figure they keep saying about with Smithy that he's played probably more football than we would have wanted. Obviously, Araujo's injuries probably caused that as well. He's been brilliant. But
so there's a bit of protecting him because of the yellows, but then game management as well.
Yeah, 100%. And and I think it was when you've got the versatile Lewis Cook on the bench, who's just been exceptional there, which is mad. But he was. I wouldn't say Smithy was struggling. I thought Smithy done fine, but he did pick up that yellow. And I think what also happens on that left side, why they'll get so much joy, is in them pockets behind the striker, Bruno tends to drift to the left. Yeah. And is asked to drift to the left, and Bruno can get on the ball. And he's a knobhead, but he's a good footballer.
A few of our players that I think we could usually rely on, there just wasn't an out ball at times, and Justin Kluivert was running into traffic, and it was almost like our forward 4 were almost redundant in that second part
of the first half.
Really.
Yeah, they were probably trying to help the fullbacks in that a little bit more rather than being on the front foot after the goal. Probably agree with that. They certainly all come into their own in the second half, though. Yeah, they certainly did. So, obviously that change was made, and then United in the second half made a double change with Højlund and Garnacho coming on for Xerxes and Ugarte, but fear not, Bournemouth, at that point, that changed the game. I don't know whether Man United's rhythm was interrupted a little bit. But they moved Bruno deeper and it cost them, I felt.
Yeah, 5 minutes later, we were on a penalty. Some really good football on that left-hand side, really good one-touch stuff. And Kluivert just, it's nice seeing him take on a player. And he did that.
Because he's got it in his locker, 100%.
And then Mazraoui, penalty.
I'll show my ridiculous AFC Bournemouth football knowledge here, but it reminded me of a rash Sean O'Driscoll tackle against Bromsgrove Rovers in the FA Cup.
Really?
Just diving in for no reason. But fortunately, just like Denny Mundy on that day when we got a penalty, Justin Kluivert sent the keeper the wrong way and tucked it in. But reminded me of that game, funny enough. But
that's what Kieran Frack was on about. I got a message from him. I didn't know what you were talking about, but
so
now I do.
We were weirdly, when you're on a long journey up, and you're just randomly talking about crap. We ended up finding on YouTube the highlights of Bournemouth 3, Bromsgrove 1.
Kieran is such a stats nerd, isn't he?
Yeah, so we were watching
He
that.
knows Bournemouth better than anyone.
And then we were going, I wonder if you could get that in the second look. And then this was before the game. And then I went, the penalties were exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was weird. So yeah, it was lovely, as you say, mate. Clive taking on a player. He's got that in him. It was lovely to see him on the wing because it helps with the chant. But yeah, but I don't understand Mazraoui jumping in. Why?
No.
Why does he jump in? I really don't understand it at all.
I think in a previous phase of play, Dango Ouattara might have been offside. I don't know. I'd love to see that back, actually, because even Match of the Day went forwards beyond that. But Clive converted. He's got a good stat, hasn't he, now?
It's not bad,
In the Premier League. 17% of Premier League penalties this season have been converted by Justin Clive.
It's weird how confident I am when he's stepping up for a penalty. There was no real part of me that thought he was going to miss. Yeah, very cool, isn't he? Very cool from the spot. And yeah, I mean, if we keep getting penalties, he's going to hit some numbers, isn't he? Because he's only got one outside of penalties, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
So he's tucking them away. So fair play.
Absolute scenes. Let's have a look at the vlog footage. Superb stuff. And so you were celebrating. It probably didn't feel that long between the celebrations and the next celebration, right?
No, it didn't at all. And what was it? Was it like 2 minutes or something? 3 minutes?
It was, about 2 or 3 minutes. But what was really good, I mean, I was getting my names mixed up when watching the stream because it was a bit of a dodgy pitch. No, actually, I wasn't watching a stream.
No.
I watched it on Match of the Day because you can't watch games like that. I think it was a ball forward from United and Kirkes cut it out. And then there was a little bit of a melee, but then a ball fell to Semenyo.
Yeah.
He then played on to Evan
West
Nilsson.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about Evan Nilsson's like pirouette and turn?
Beautiful.
The hold-up play there. And Ouattara was like, shall I go?
Yeah.
And then he went just at the right time.
I think they showed it on Match today as well, that Dango, when the first bit of play happens, so when I think it's Mainu loses it to Semenyo.
Dango was like right
He's
back.
in the left-back spot. He's virtually, I think it's Mazraoui. They're next to each other. And the end of it, Mazraoui's like 100 yards away. Incredible. But yeah, it was really good. And Eva just, I said this to you, but if he can add some goals, he's complete.
But does it really?
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying I can't call him complete when he's only got a couple of goals. But the way he does that, and then when you've done that, you think, well, now it's about your decision making. The timing of the pass, the run from Dango, who make it. Obviously, we've spoke about him a little bit recently with Tav being out and the kind of comparisons that have been made. I thought first half he struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
What I say about Dango is he would quite often lose the ball, but then win it back with a tackle. So you kind of go, okay. But second half, he was brilliant. And,
I thought he was really good.
And he caused some problems. It's a great run. And then when he gets in, I think he's just going to smash it. And he's only one player he can pick out. And Antoine's kept his run going, really pleased for him and just hit it, like, typical Semenyo, just hit it hard. And it's an Alana who's trash. So yeah, that was lovely, man. And you'll be happy, a decent knee slide from Antoine as well. In front of the away end. Decent. I did think that he comes straight over to us. But yeah, that was just the icing on the cake, mate.
Let's see the scenes then. Absolutely love that. Really, really good. And Dango, again, I think it just kind of underlines the point that he's a second half player or a player that it does best when teams are stretched because he can get in behind.
100%. When they're stretched is the right way of putting it, for sure. And that's why quite often it happens when he comes off the bench. But it was nice to see him after a not the best first half kick on in the second and not have one of them games where you go, oh, I wish he was coming on again. So was really pleased for him and never have a go at someone that when you're 3-0 up, the game's won, think it was in stoppage time, he charges back and makes a last-ditch tackle. I mean, every fan loves to see that. And that's what teams like Man United don't have. If you watch that, as good as he was on the ball, if you watch that third goal, Bruno Fernandes, pathetic. He's pathetic. He's just walking back, not really, the game's done. And then you see Dango moments later at 3-0 up.
And that just shows you hard work can get results. And I'll go into some of the tweets I saw after the game, which just pissed me off when I saw them. But look, there are players here that we've not really even mentioned. Tyler Adams.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And again, like the virtue of him having a good performance is if we don't have to speak about him.
Yeah, no, 100%. He is like a bit of glue in there. He keeps it ticking really, really nicely. But he's also in a 50-50. You fancy him every time. He's quite.
I think I fancy him every time.
Yeah, that's true. Him and Christie in the mid. Imagine being a centre midfield player and playing against them two. They do your head in. They're everywhere.
And if not, they bring on Lewis Cook.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
Oh, right back.
He was brilliant. And Christie, there was a few times in the first half I thought he was trying to like Cruyff turn a bit too much, like in between three players. But I like the confidence, but he's still ratty and everywhere as usual. We haven't even mentioned Zabani, who, by the way...
he was imperious. I think that was the word I used. So good.
Ridiculous. I mean, that's 3 in a row that I've just been like, it's just unbelievable. I mean, he's literally, I think I said this on the Kofi actually, that he's gone from a player that I thought, he's got the potential to be nearly as good as Ake, to then watching him a bit more going, he could be as good as Ake. And then watching him going, I think he is better than Ake. To now going, he's miles better than Ake. It's ridiculous. He's just, and that's a compliment to Ake because he's probably, is the best centre-half I've ever seen at Bournemouth. So, he was a mustard. And Dean Howson, the biggest compliment I could pay him. I mean, he's 19 years of age, so he's gave the ball away a few times. But the biggest compliment I could pay him is I forget that Senesi's out. Senesi. I think people forget Senesi's brilliant. I know he has the odd, but Senesi is a top centre back,
and his distribution's very good.
Yes, spraying the balls and stuff, and also partly hasn't this season popping up with the odd goal. Howson's come in, and I forgot that. We're missing Senesi, and no one's talking about it. So that's credit to him. I think Milos Kerkez, by the way, for as good as he always is going forward, defensively he's got so much better this season. So much better. We've pretty much mentioned everyone. Semenyo's always a threat, of course. So, and even off the bench, little mentions. I thought, obviously, people like Brooks, now Hill done their job. Lewis was good, but Billing again. I thought Philip Billing come on and used the ball really well and helped us as a kind of finisher. Really helped us just look after it a bit. So fair play to him.
So good. The attacking momentum suggests that United did have chances in the last 15, and we saw that. And Kepa,
that Højlund one.
2 different. I mean, once where Garnacho was through.
Oh yeah.
Weak as piss shot, really.
He should do better.
To slide rule it, and it was. But then that shot from Højlund, where he just got some fingers on it to tap it wide of the post.
It was that quick a shot that it sounds weird now because when you watch it, it's obvious. But from our end, we thought, they've given a corner. It must have been deflection. No one realised Kepa had saved it because it looked like he just flashed across goal and then they gave a corner. So I didn't realise he saved that, and that's an incredible save. So it's really pleased for him because I think he's come into the side and he's been good. But important for him to have one of them games, I think. Yeah. So really. And Old Trafford is not a bad place to do it.
23-10, the shots chalkboard in the end. I think after
it's low for us.
It is low for us. After about 20, 25 minutes or so, they showed a little stat on the top left-hand corner that showed the shots where we were ahead. And then that second half for Man United, and then especially the second half for them as well, meant that they were superior in the shots tally. But it's all about the clinicality, and we've always said how clinical we are, and that shows it,
no problem,
doesn't it? 5 minutes from time, there was a video on Twitter from Tommy Heffernan's Poodle, which if you watch it on YouTube, you can see it now, and it was empty. It was the largest ever crowd to have witnessed an AFC Bournemouth win
again
for the second year in a row, because that accolade went to the same fixture last season. I think there was about 400-500 more this time round, and it wasn't so much squeaky bum time. There were plenty of squeaks because of the mice infestation, as we spoke of. I thought, Ryan, I was looking at all these they look like little rats, and I was going, is Fraser not playing again?
It was weird how, I mean, it shouldn't be weird because we obviously were battering them in terms of the scoreline, but it's mad when you see a stadium of that many people, and it's just, I done a few little, to my mates and stuff, was like, recording us like walking down the steps at the end. I think we were singing something about 10 years for Iraola.
Yeah.
And when I pan, it's just empty seats everywhere. And all the Bournemouth it's really bizarre when there's 70,000 people in there, and then suddenly
when you can start to see the letters on
yes,
on the
exactly.
That's when it's like
exactly, yes. But I don't know what time the train was back to London, but they needed to jump on as quick as they could.
We've just seen the stats on screen. If you're watching on YouTube, the expected goals for United at the end of that game was 2.28, 1.63 for AFC Bournemouth. We only had 40% of the ball, but it doesn't matter. It's all about what you do with it. Some good stats for Kepa, of course, and the goalkeeper saves and the corner kicks. Man United dominated, but we were superb defending those. Man of the match and ratings. I've shown these already. So look, I'm just going to show you it now. But high scores all around this. I mean,
Crystal got it.
Howson, Kepa.
Yeah, I thought I thought stat wise it'd just be Kepa, but Chris, the stats sometimes the yellow doesn't help. And Kepa did get a yellow.
Yes,
that sometimes
and also Christie got an assist, which obviously
of course.
boosts his own figures as well. But
and his pass completion was very good. I actually looked at, I think Howson got nearly 90%. So that it's weird, isn't it? Because everyone kind of goes, "Oh, remember when he gave the ball away and Bruno nearly scored?" But he barely gave the ball away again in the whole game. It just sometimes, if they get a chance from it, is what it is. By the way, I'm not really being disrespectful, but when you've got my only worry after the game was so from an England point of view, everyone's been telling me because Lewis Cook never plays for England. Yeah. But it's all right now because we've got this amazing Kobbie Mainoo. He was absolutely, he got bossed. He's terrible.
Yeah,
he was terrible.
Really bad, yeah.
So if he's England future, I'm worried. But, you can just literally take someone else from that game and play Lewis Cook there. So there's no way, all the Man U fans go, oh, the little Bournemouth player, there's no way in a million years Mainoo's as good as Lewis Cook. That's the end of the conversation.
And I hope that our league position will actually maybe make it possible for Tuchel to pick someone like Lewis Cook without media or fans going, who the hell's this guy?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just take note of the tables, don't they? So Ryan Christie's stats were so good. In 90 minutes, 88% pass accuracy, 3 chances created, 5 passes into the final third, 8 duels won, 4 tackles won as well. He had the most touches in total for AFC Bournemouth with 64. Also had the most touches in the opposition half with 40 and the final third with 17. He also, like you say, attempted the most in passes in the opposition's half, 24, and in the final third with 8. That boy is superb.
I mean, he's always superb. I wonder if the fact that he was getting, it feels like with the stats that's more than usual in terms of advanced getting forward. And I wonder if that Adam Shield, because Lewis can do that, but Lewis kind of likes to be a bit more box to box.
I think, Christian
Tyler not interested in going forward.
Christian Cook a bit more similar in some ways.
Yes.
But, Tyler Adams' job
is clearly more sat than Ryan.
So there's a licence there.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, he was, like I said, when you've got Ryan Christie trying all these, he was trying nutmegs and flicks and they weren't all coming off, but I thought, God, he's changed, hasn't he?
I absolutely love him. Look, Glenn Murray was appreciating it. He was showing on the screen Cherries' attacking intent that shows that we are right up there in the Premier League this season in terms of shots and XG. And I quote, he said, the best squad AFC Bournemouth have ever had in the Premier League. That's what Glenn said.
Fair play to him, because it is, but he's been in one of them. So, and I can't believe
he's right though, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't take the chance to go. Yeah, it's a big win for him, but they've won at Stamford Bridge before. I've scored a header there for him. You know what I mean? He's got, he's always loved because of that goal at the Bridge. But yeah, it was nice to see him saying that. And yeah, 100% it's our best squad. But equally, you could have got another squad. We got the best coach, so that's why.
Yeah, and look, whilst the game was on, there were a few other games going on. One of them was at the King Power Stadium. Of course, Wolves trying to get a result against Leicester. It's going to be difficult, obviously. Did they have their new manager in at that point in time?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And how do they do?
They won 3-0.
One of the things going under the radar, these are not my words, by the way, with Gary O'Neill, was that Wolves were in the relegation zone despite having the greatest XG over performance in the league. I think John McKenzie wrote this, that there's a nice symmetry in that Andoni Iraola, having Bournemouth, what are we now, 5th, have the greatest XG underperformance in the league. We're looking on screen at the XG timeline of the game, which shows that, United were ahead. You can tell in that last sort of 10, 15 minutes, they had a fair few chances, which they probably should have converted, given where they were. That Garnacho one-on-one should have probably done better, of course, and Højlund. And then we'll also come to the average positions as well. And I think Matt on Vital said this. It's almost like a sort of a lean on a dodgy pool table. Like, why are they all over that side?
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Yeah.
Why is that? I can't quite work it out why.
Well, I'm glad because that didn't. I didn't know that was coming up, but I did say earlier, didn't I? I do think they played on that side because of Bruno. And Bruno just loves going to that left-hand side. And well, it's funny, you're going to go to Bruno if you're going to go to anyone. But yeah, I didn't realise it was that much over that side. I'm trying to think. Harry Maguire, every time I've watched Harry Maguire, most of the time, like for England in particular, he likes being on the left side. Yeah. Alessandro Martinez, who was centre-back, is left-footed. Yeah. So I don't know if that just made him naturally go over to that side. Strange. But and maybe they are looking at it and going, listen, they've got Adam Smith's aging a bit. Let's try and get at him a little bit more rather than the young Milos Kerkez. I'm not sure. But yeah, they gave it a go, bless them.
Yeah, they certainly did give it a go. I was reading a tweet from Terry Christian.
Oh, he was somebody once, wasn't he?
he was on The Word, which I think
I remember him. He was on Big Brother.
Yeah, a Channel 4 show. What he said about AFC Bournemouth really annoyed me. He said, at Old Trafford, Bournemouth, a decent side, good manager, but hard to feel excited by a club with a third-tier level of support, subsidised by the TV money Man United bring to the Premier League. We basically paid for half their squad.
Oh, well, thank you, Terry. I'm sure you're at the game. I'm sure you go every week. But yeah, I wish we had the level of support they do, and all them half and half scarves around it is gutting going every week, and not having them kind of tourist feels about the place. But no, he's just, like I say, he's trying to get, probably, when you get to that point as well, you were someone, then you had to go on Big Brother. So you're just trying to do tweets to get viral. Do you know what I mean? Just bless him.
It does my head in. I've said this to you before, and I said this on a previous video about our views for our preview show. And I'm not saying that the fandom is necessarily tessellating with the club, but it does seem like a culture of entitlement and not being interested in anything else other than what's inside the four walls of Old Trafford. And it feels like their fans, they've got a lot of fair weather fans. I'm sure they've got some diehard loyals. Of course they have. But there are these kind of, take your camera type people like Ollie, that go and, just are there to take pictures. It's just they don't seem to be interested, and they think that they can just turn up and watch their team roll over AFC Bournemouth, and it feels like he's one of them.
And as you say, mate,
it's so strange.
We see it firsthand in the views, since we've been in the Premier League, that teams. So, for example, I can think of straight away: Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton.
Massive.
That whatever we do, if they'll watch it. Because it's about their club, and they're so. And Man United never gets any views
because I think there's a humility with their supporters because they appreciate there are 19 other teams in the Premier League.
Sure,
Man United fans don't realise that.
No, they're a bit like that potentially.
And I think one of the things, obviously, with Man United channels, there's a saturation of Man United content out there, and also it's inspired by Goldbridge. It's very difficult to get views unless you're clickbaiting some kind of rants or raves or something like that, which obviously we don't do. To
be fair, just on the other kind of slight angle, we met Flex once, who was a top guy. I thought. So we're not saying they're all arseholes or anything. It's just there's quite a. Like you said, there's quite a lot of them, so
Flex means goes to games as well.
Yeah, he does indeed. So it is what it is, mate. But to be honest, I wouldn't go and watch a fan channel that just slap us up every year.
Tell you what, you got slapped up like Ollie. So we've mentioned him a couple of times. I mean, this is mad. Just want to have a little quick discussion about this. Ollie, we didn't ask him to do a vlog, by the way, for this game. We did for the Wolves game, but for this we didn't. But he always likes to, take some video for his own sort of use or whatever. He's not putting it on YouTube yet. He has done once before. But apparently he got crowded out by 10 heavy-handed stewards who were instructed by the control room at Old Trafford to stop filming the game or whatever he was doing.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
Well, it's weird given that every time at a game, you even see it when you're watching Sky, the amount of people that are like that.
Yeah, well, I had a guy near me that was clearly not a Bournemouth fan that was just recording constantly. I mean, they must have just thought that he's holding it at too long a time so it looks like he's kind of streaming a game or recording. But regardless of that, you have a chat with him and say, what you're doing. He explains it. They then go, take it off him, which I've heard that Ollie offered to give him it. You don't just have to remove him and be like that. That's strange.
He missed the penalty and he missed the third goal. I mean, look, there is... I
heard that Tav said, I want him out. Marcus Tavernier, apparently. I want him out.
Let it go.
He missed the Dango assist there.
There's a fine line.
I'll talk you through it. Oh.
I did message Ollie. I said, "Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that." And I think there's a way to do it, and obviously, Ollie. I think I don't know. I haven't seen him do it, but it's a grey area. It really is a grey area because you're not supposed to film the game. So what we try to do,
you do a lot of the supporters rather than the game.
So I mean, you'll always get incidental footage of what happens on the pitch, but my aim is to capture what happens in the stands, the little rain falling from the top of the north stand roof or something like that. Just try to get the vibe. There was one guy in the YouTube comments on one of our last vlogs saying, we've seen your faces, we know what you look like, we know how the crowd celebrate. Why aren't you showing more of the action? It's we're not trying to provide an alternative highlights package.
No, and you're not allowed to, really,
and you're not allowed to. So I don't know, maybe they saw it pointing at the pitch for quite a long time, but
Yeah,
heavy-handed approach by Man United. And maybe, if you want to be like really serious about it, check out the other Man United vlogs that are on YouTube already that uploaded their stuff at full time.
Exactly.
Where their faces are showing. Maybe you can be heavy-handed with them too. It just seems to be a bit of a strange approach.
Almost like they weren't in the best of moods on the day.
Maybe. There was another guy that wasn't. His name is Ian Highland, Man United fan.
I just got flashbacks of Nyland then.
He tweeted, and I want to show you this. Man United fan, December 2023. I took my son to watch Man United versus Bournemouth as a pre-Christmas treat. It pissed it down and we lost 3-0. In December 2024, I took my son to watch Man United v Bournemouth as a pre-Christmas treat. It pissed it down and we lost 3-0. Next year, I'm thinking Mallorca. Good choice, Ian.
Oh, that's great. I want to know how old his son is, because he might, if he's really young and he's like taking him to games, obviously, and he's a Man U fan, he might switch. He might go, can I go and watch that? They're brilliant.
Maybe.
Welcome over.
I mean, you probably live down south anyway, right? Jake Summers did a tweet and it encapsulated exactly how I feel. I feel like I've been chasing a high with AFCB since 2015. Had great days since, but it just hasn't hit as hard. European football would be it for me. He said, anyone, anywhere, being in a random square with mates with the same faces that you've been up and down the country with for years.
Absolutely.
I mean, just imagine.
Oh, it'd be amazing. And yeah, obviously.
It all feels so deflated if you don't now, wouldn't it?
Obviously,
it'll still be an incredible season.
Oh, it'd be amazing. But yeah, obviously, Jake's who I go with. So I've been up and down the country with Jake, so some shitholes and some shit games. And then to suddenly, like you say, years on, be in Vienna with him watching ball. Do you know what I mean? It would be incredible. And it's nice to have a little dream there, but dreams do sometimes come true, mate.
I think that Paul Belveston in the presser for the pre-Christmas the Crystal Palace preview, which was like the day after the United game, he said to Iraola, even if you get a point now from all of the rest of your matches this season, you'll still eclipse the points tally, the record points tally from last season. Which is quite mad when you think about it.
Yeah.
We'll still get more points than what we got last season, which was 48. We're still so he said okay, so because Iraola is keen to dismiss his targets.
Of course, yeah, of course.
But he sort of suggests that. But would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
And Iraola answered it really well.
Of course he did. He's a god. But yeah, it's nice to see the players. I've seen one with Howson recently, and then there was one with Justin Kluivert when they were both asked about Europe, and they go, "Why not? Why not?" I mean, Houses probably wants to go to him. Well, why would I have come here otherwise? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Of course.
Oh my God, mate, this is good. What a Christmas we're having.
You're going to bother if you go to Europe? Are you going to come to a game, are you?
Yeah, I might do. Look, there is a preview show ahead. We're going to keep it short for Crystal Palace. But look, whenever you're watching this, thank you so much for your support this year. It's been a whirlwind 2024 so far. Hopefully, we can finish with a bang. What are you having for your Christmas pudding? You having Christmas cake? You having Christmas pudding? A bit of trifle? What are you going to have?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I'm just thinking about Andoni again.
Have the chairs.
Come
on. Merry Christmas.
I love that man.